from the Dome as the Colts made their way out of the locker room. We're set for football as the Colts get set to match up with Cam Newton and the New England Patriots. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, we take a look at the Colts entering play. They've been flawless all year long as they hit the home stretch at 13-0.
And now they just have to guard against complacency.
Here's the punter, Jake Bailey, ready to do the honors. And we are underway from Indianapolis. Taken at the goal line. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. So the Colts now coming out for their opening drive. And they'll be led out by the guy under center, Charles, their quarterback.
And he's been, in my mind, the best player in the NFL at this point of the season. And I think if you polled folks with a ballot, and I certainly have one, I think they'd say he's the front runner for MVP. So now it comes down to finishing out the season strong. And a good game here would certainly strengthen his case.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Oh, he's going to take a shot right away. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. Touchdown, Indianapolis. T.Y. Hilton, 74 yards. And the Colts are going to take a first-quarter lead. I'll let you do the analysis, partner, but with every touchdown pass this young quarterback throws and with the success that his team has had, I just continue to be more and more impressed.
Let's both do the analysis. Impressed. Aren't we both?
Yeah.
I mean, and why shouldn't we be? We've seen him improve throughout the year. We've seen him settle in now, and you can see the confidence of the team has grown. His confidence has grown. I think that everyone around this guy feels good about what they've seen, and it's also safe for him when he's driving home to turn on Sports Talk Radio. He's okay.
So after the touchdown, here's Blankenship kicking off. This will be fielded inside the 5. And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line. The Patriot offense ready to go to work for the first time, and leading them out, their quarterback in his second year with New England at 11th overall, the former MVP Cam Newton.
And he's been, in my mind, the best player in the NFL at this point of the season. And I think if you polled folks with a ballot, and I certainly have one, I think they'd say he's the front runner for MVP. So now it comes down to finishing out the season strong. And a good game here would certainly strengthen his case.
Cam going to bring the Patriots up now, 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. They'll run for the first time with Sony Michel. And he's upended at the 33 following a good pickup of 8. Well, this defense very strong in that victory from a week ago.
There's a little bit of lightning talking with the defense coordinator about their performance last week because the feeling was that it was a good, solid performance. They did what they needed to do to get the job done and get the win, but definitely a few lapses that they're looking to correct.
Calling no gain that time as it's going to leave them with a 3rd and about 3 to go. To throw is Newton. Complete. Hunter Henry with a grab. And he will have a Patriots first down. It won't be by much. He needed 3, and he got 3, barely. But the mark shows first down. Now Newton on first down. And he'll be brought down by the Colts. DeForest Buckner in there to get him, and that is now sack number 18 on the season for him. It seemed like he kept going through those progressions, and I thought he might dump that underneath, but he couldn't get rid of the football in time.
And I have to wonder if he was thinking while he was back there, I wish there were a lot less progressions on this play, just someone that I could dump the ball to and get it out of my hands.
And Charles, despite this list of key inactives that we see here, they've obviously still been pretty successful.
Give everyone credit for this one, because to me, when that happens, key guys are out, the next man steps up and plays well, but that starts with the organization itself, all the way through. No excuses for guys being out, finding guys who are capable backups who can step up and play when they need them, and we've seen the results of that. This team knows how to work through things.
Well, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Xavier Rhodes with a pick. And a huge return as he'll take this one all the way down inside the 30-yard line. What a start defensively. Your offense goes out, gets the touchdown, and then you get the interception. Just perfect.
How about the discipline that they showed on defense? Because after the offense scored to go up 7-zip, you would think they might be a little extra aggressive trying to get back at them. Instead, they read their keys well, and they took the shot downfield. They were more than prepared for that one.
As the Colts offense makes their way out, we take a look at the playoff picture in the AFC. And for them, it's no longer a question of will they make the playoffs. They've clinched the division title. The question, can they hold on to that #1 seed?
And this is where the mental fortitude comes to play, doesn't it? Because now you're not just the coach talking about it, this team talking about it to each other, supporting each other, carrying each other along, because having that #1 seed means everything in the NFL.
It does, so even though the division title's clinched, shouldn't take the foot off the gas.
No, not at all. Play it all the way through, and I think we've seen that in recent years in the NFL. The teams that play and play to win each and every game, they're the ones to deal with in the playoffs.
Eluding the pressure right. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. He'll wind up getting right about 4 there on the scramble, and it's second down.
He was able to get away earlier in the drive, but apparently all the time they put in practice finally came to the front, didn't it? They remembered their lessons and found a way to contain him when he took off on that one.
And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line.
As a rookie quarterback, that's exactly how you endear yourself to your teammates. Give it up for the cause. It's also how you end up on the training table, too.
Yeah, it's a catch-22. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. CD, so often we talk about quarterbacks holding on to the ball too long. Well, we can't say that there. He had no time to do much of anything.
And it appears that this was just a letdown from the offensive line, but they do have a tough job because if you're a big tackle out there on the perimeter, sometimes you don't have the agility to keep up with the defensive end who's looking to wreak havoc in the backfield, and he got there and put his man on the ground.
And this will result in him losing yardage. Back to the 3. Now, they'd really like to make the short field pay off. We'll see if they can, but this is 3rd and goal. That is not going to be any help as they dump him behind the line of scrimmage. He loses 4, and it brings up 4th. And this doesn't end well at all as they stop him far behind the line to gain. They'll get neither the touchdown nor the first down. And the Patriots defense is going to take over on downs.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
And he'll slide to a halt here, still a little shy of the first down marker. The improv on the scramble there gets him 6, and it'll be second down. Off the draw, here's Michel. And he'll be about a full yard shy of the 20 at the 19-yard line.
Let's go. Usually we see runs like this as the defense breaks down later in the game, but this guy is setting the tone early, running through all types of tackles and put the defense back on its heels.
They'll run it here. This is James White. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. They'll try the air now with Newton. And he's taken down. Back at his own 7. They'll wind up losing 10 on the sack, and it'll lead to a 3rd and long.
Well, here's where having mobility sometimes can work against you as a quarterback. He thinks he can retreat and outrun the pressure. But that time, they zeroed in on him and took him down for a big loss, partner.
A really big loss. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked up by Kenny Moore. And he's able to get it back to the 33-yard line.
And that's what we've seen from this defense all year long, because they've been so good at finding ways to take the football away. And they just gave us another example right here. A strong defense, that's something you're going to need to rely on come playoff time. And this crew has got one. There's no doubt about that, Brandon.
Indianapolis offense ready to go again. And on the last drive, they were in field goal range. They just opted not to kick it, didn't get it. How does that change the mentality this go-around?
I don't think it changes much for the head coach because this is what he preaches all the time. Attack at all times in any spot on the field, and he likes touchdowns, not field goals. Now, your field goal kicker, you got to make sure you nurse him through and say, okay, don't worry about it. When we need you, you've got to be ready to go. And the team, of course, loves to see points on the board. So let's see if it changes a little bit if they're in the same spot again.
Well, we'll see what the decision is here if they get to that spot.
And remember, this drive started off following the turnover, and they've taken no time working their way down the short field. A nice connection there, and now they're looking at a 1st and goal.
They'll look to throw here. And down he goes. Pressure gets him back at the 14. Dante Hightower coming in hard there on the blitz, and he gets him 7 yards behind the line of scrimmage. They'll run it here. This is Marlon Mack. They do get 6, but they've still got some work to do on 3rd and goal. Another fine carry from the NFL's rushing leader, and quarterbacks typically dominating the MVP balloting, but I think you got to give this guy serious consideration, don't you?
I agree totally. I mean, he's leading the league in rushing, and let's face it, partner, the running back renaissance in the NFL, it's real, and it's really helping teams along the way. He's a prime example. Got to give him strong consideration for MVP talk.
Can this defense hold him out? Here we go now. 4th and goal from the 2. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Marlon Mack with touchdown number 29. Too short of LaDainian Tomlinson's all-time record 31. And the Colts have taken a 13-0 first quarter lead. So 4th and goal, their head coach gave that offensive line one more chance to punch it in, and this time they were successful.
They certainly paid off the coach's confidence, didn't they? And how about the fact that they stayed with the ground game? Because a lot of times in that situation, partner, we see teams try and roll the quarterback out, give him a little run-pass option, and treat it like a 2-point conversion play. In this case, they went with a little bit more power and got it done.
Extra point by Blankenship is up and good. And that'll make the score 14-0. So after the touchdown, here's Blankenship kicking off. This will be fielded inside the 5. And he'll take it a yard or so past the 20, call it the 21. The Pats at the line, ready to go. To this point, the results have not been good. 2 possessions, 2 turnovers.
And that's obviously something that can't continue, but to go a little bit deeper on that one, I would think about some play calls now, not even necessarily to my best player, but to someone I can trust with the ball. Try and get things settled down a little bit.
A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be 2nd down. Running out of the gun with White. And he'll be brought down right around the 37.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
On 1st down, it's Newton. And the coverage terrific there as that's knocked down and incomplete.
The 2nd in the NFL in interceptions, and you understand why. He plays the game with great intelligence, understands positioning, and has a great ability to break on the football when it's in the air.
So fun to watch his closing speed, and another example of it on that play. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3. They'll try and run for it. Here's Michel. And he's got a 1st down as he's up to the 48.
On 3rd down, that's a good job of situational football and understanding where the 1st down marker was and getting there.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. They defer to White out of the shotgun. And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. 2nd down.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly. That was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down. Newton now to throw. Open man is Jacoby Myers. He's got it. And he will have a Patriots first down by about a yard as they find a way to convert there on third down and 5. Now a first down carry. It's Michel. And he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5.
And when you get good yardage like that on first down, it really does a whole lot of good for your entire offense. But I love the way he's finishing those runs. At the end of things, he's making sure he gets just a little bit extra.
On second down now, it's White. And he's dropped just before the line to gain. 4-yard pickup leaves him with 3rd and 1. Pretty good job defensively. Thought he was going to get it, but they knew where that marker was, and they stopped him just short of it.
What it does is emphasize that strategic football and situational football is not just played on the offensive side, is it? Defense understanding, as you noted, where the first down marker was and making sure they didn't get there.
So he was holding from that left tackle position.
Everyone tries to keep their hands inside when they're blocking ever since they liberalized the rules where you can extend them out. But sometimes they get out a little wide and they get detected grabbing some cloth.
Throwing on third down, Newton. But he'll let this go deep for Bourne. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked up by Kenny Moore. And the Colts are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line. Week after week, we're seeing plays like this from him. And I think he's in line. We've discussed it before for NFL Defensive Player of the Year.
And a big reason why, I think, is because of his ball skills. And that's something that, for guys of his position, they've talked about it for years. They've done the drills. But they've really increased it in recent seasons because of the offense have gotten so good. He knows how to take the ball away. That is huge for a defender.
A run by Mack to start the drive. And he's got it past the 30 before he's dropped. That's a nice run right there, able to get to the outside. And so many times defenses say, okay, we've got you hemmed in. But if you're running the football, at least you know where everyone is coming from. You don't have to worry about the backside at all. That allows you to run with a little bit more confidence as you traverse down the field. He's got a man complete. And he gets this deep into Patriot territory. A big play there for Indy. We saw this plenty last year in college. He loved to take his shots downfield, and that throw, that was a thing to behold there. They'll run on first down with Marlon Mack. And he takes this one in for a Colts touchdown. Marlon Mack becoming just the second player with 30 touchdowns in a single year. And the Colts add on to their lead. Boy, so if you are scoring at home, Charles, and God bless you if you are, but that's now 3 drives and 3 touchdowns.
So in a baseball game, wouldn't that wreak havoc on your scorecard?
Yes.
I mean, with all the action that's happening now, how they got here, whatever cliche you want to bring into it, they're locked into a groove, they're clicking on all cylinders. Bottom line, they're piling up the points.
Extra point by Blankenship is up and good, and it's now 21-0. So the drive there, they went 80 yards in 3 plays. And the end result was a Marlon Mack touchdown run. So after the touchdown, here's Blankenship kicking off. Taken in at the 3. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22. Getting set to go again here. Cam Newton marches back onto the field. He's struggled. His team has struggled. You talk to me a lot about looking to your leaders. Maybe it's time for him to put his mark on this game.
Agreed. And how that has to happen is somehow he's got to flush out everything that's happened so far and almost start over and get back to that confident level and know that he can play the game, because so far, this has been a real struggle.
Yeah, absolutely. He's got the interceptions, trying to turn it around. They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up.
When we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot, he had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eye.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked up by Kenny Moore. And the Colts are going to take over here up near the 40.
Well, this is just crazy. He's got 3 interceptions, Charles, and we haven't even departed the first half of this ballgame.
I think if you're looking at the stats right now, you're saying, all right, who's the leading receiver? Well, can you flip it around and say that maybe he is and could be for the game the way that things are going right now? I think if it's him, he wants to be on the field at all times.
Marlon Mack now heading back out there. He's over 40 yards here in the second quarter. Been nice and effective for them, hasn't he?
He has definitely been dependable, and really shouldn't underestimate what he's getting done here, because anytime you're on a pace that's going to approach 100 yards, you've really done some damage in an NFL game.
And now he's looking just to add to his totals. They'll come out throwing here on 1st down. Looking deep for Hilton. They've got his man complete. And he gets this deep into Patriot territory. A big play there for Indy. Now back to throw. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. The improv on the scramble there gets him 6, and it'll be 2nd down.
And we have to give credit to him for buying time and extending the play. But you know there's some really upset defenders on that one. They thought that they had him. Instead, he was coated in Teflon and got away.
Under pressure now, and he's going to go down just inside the 5-yard line. Dante Hightower coming in for the sack from his linebacker spot.
When you're this close to the goal line, you got to expect pressure from the defense, so the ball's got to come out fast. Got to get out of his hands quicker.
A chance to really put this game out of reach. Here's 3rd and goal.
They'll try and run. Here's Mack. And he'll keep working toward that end zone as he's down to about the 2-yard line. Now the Patriots going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a tick under a minute to go before half. Can this defense hold them out? Here we go now. 4th and goal from the 2. And he's in for the score. And his spectacular season continues as he ties the NFL touchdown record.
He is phenomenal. That score that they just gave up there, that's a tough one for their defense to swallow because they've had a tough time through the first 2 quarters. They really were determined to get a stop there. Unable to do so, that makes their comeback hopes that much more difficult.
Rodrigo Blankenship on for the PAT.
It's good, and they stretch their lead to 28-0 now. A drive there of just 4 plays. And the end result was a Marlon Mack touchdown run.
So after the touchdown, here's Blankenship kicking off. Fielded just outside the goal line. And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17. Cam Newton and the Patriots set to go again on offense.
In second quarter, they're down big already. He's struggling as well. They've got to find something here. He's got to find something on this drive.
And sometimes you take on all that extra pressure on yourself, and maybe you have to disperse it a little bit. Lean on some other people, lean on your teammates, find someone who can take the pressure off and get the ball in their hands for a while.
Well, if he doesn't, this is getting out of hand, or it could get worse. Throwing again on second down. Newton. And now here's another interception. Picked off at the 30. And he will bring it back. An interception return for the Colts TD. Now remember, this is the #1 defense in the National Football League. There's a good example of why.
Shows that they set an aggressive tone, not just stopping the run, not just getting after the quarterback, but the ball's in the air. They treat it like they're the receivers, and they went after that one and took it all the way.
Blankenship on for the PAT.
And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick six. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away.
This fielded right at the goal line. And not a good return here at all as they'll be forced to start at the 12-yard line.
Nelson Aguilar and company getting set to go again on offense now. A chance maybe here for them to get him more involved. They're down here on the scoreboard, and he's been very quiet.
And the silence has been deafening for his team. They don't need that at all. They need fireworks. They need explosive plays. They need him touching the football in any way possible. Maybe go to some jet sweeps. Anything to get him going.
And he goes down. It's a sack. They get him back at his own 3-yard line. That one will set him back nearly 10 yards here on first down on the sack.
That's 3 sacks now, and that's not much of a surprise to me, nor should it be to you. This team, they lead the league in sacks.
Yeah, they do. This is something that we are starting to witness time and time again. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is second and long. On the handoff, it's Michel. And this will go as a short gain on what will be the final act of this first half. So we've reached... And now, due to apparent time constraints, we fast forward to the beginning of the second half. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Patriots trailing here, but they will have the football first as the third quarter is underway. Taken in at the 3. And good coverage there on special teams as they'll get him down shy of the 20. The Patriot offense heading back out as we take a look at the playoff picture in the AFC.
And they have a mountainous deficit looming in front of them. It was really, Charles, a disaster of a first half. So where do they go from here?
Well, first thing they have to remember is that what's done is done, and there's no going back. And now you have to play this drive by drive. Obviously, come back in this spot, pretty unlikely. But you still have to go out, take pride in your work, and try and put something together here in the second half.
Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8. Opting to run again here with White. And he'll get only a couple up to the 22.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside. and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
Now Newton. This is White on the screen. Good contain, no gain on the screen, and it'll bring up fourth down.
The whole idea of the screen pass is to fool the defense in a big way and create a big play.
They weren't fooled.
Not 1 second, not one bit. How about them figuring it out, diagnosing it, and spilling it for lost yardage?
So they're forced to punt on fourth as this one's away. And here's Rodgers on the return. Call it an even 40-yard punt, 7-0 on the return. And the Colts will go on offense here, 1st and 10. And we take some time to spotlight T.Y. Hilton now. And now he's inching closer to a 200-yard game. He's been so solid.
And he's really denting the pride of the guys playing defense, too, because there's certain barriers that you just don't want to give up. Never want to give him a 100-yard rusher, a 100-yard receiver. He's closing in on 200 yards. Wow, that's a really big game. Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball, but when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Looking deep for Hilton. And this is caught inside the 5. Touchdown, Indianapolis. T.Y. Hilton, his second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Colts are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. And that looked almost to be a case of, a quarterback saying, hey, I'm going to throw this as far as I can and hope you run under it. Mission accomplished.
And I'm telling you, nothing will let up a crowd more than a play like that. Here in the stadium, all eyes were on the receiver streaking downfield, and everyone was thinking, throw it, he's open. What a connection there for the touchdown.
And that wound up traveling an even 58 yards in the air, according to Next Gen Stats. Extra point by Blankenship is up and good. And the lead will swell by one more. The long touchdown pass gets them 6 on a very, very tidy 2-play drive that time. So after the touchdown, here's Blankenship kicking off. Taken in at the 3. And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line. Out comes the New England offense to see what they can do this time. They are right now just ice cold. I mean, they have struggled big time in this game, and they're getting blown out. How do they adjust?
So tough because we always talk about it being a team game, and you need all 11 working well together. But every now and then, partner, you need that one guy who can make a play against all odds that maybe can ignite things. And I think that's what they're looking for right now.
Yeah, you talk about going to your playmakers. They probably need to do it.
Find someone that you're used to touching the football that makes big plays and give them that opportunity to maybe wake up everyone else.
On 2nd and 9, Newton to Michelle on the screen. And he'll lose yardage here, back to the 15. It'll be a loss of 2, maybe 3 on the play. And that's going to lead to a 3rd and 12.
Well, so much for bluffing the defensive line into thinking that they were going to be able to get to the quarterback. Instead, they sniffed out the screen pass and made a really nice play for lost yardage.
Now Newton. He's going to look downfield for Henry. And this will be incomplete. Boy, can you believe this? That one probably should have been picked too. Instead, it's 4th down. He's had trouble finding open receivers all game, CD, and that's because really there hasn't been many. This defense has been all over him.
Yeah, they're one of the better defenses in the league, and every time I talk to someone around the NFL, they all say the exact same thing. They're so fundamentally sound, it's hard to execute against them.
And they'll get this to the 30-yard line before crossing over out of bounds. It takes a touchdown-saving tackle to bring him down as he goes 32 yards on the return. And the Colts are set up well as they take over 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. On 1st down, it's Mack. They find some open field here. And inside the 20 before he's brought down.
69 yards for him on the ground now, and 3 touchdowns to go along with it.
We often give credit to the O-line there. 2 tight end formation. Those tight ends block pretty well also.
Yeah, and that's one of the most dynamic positions in football now. The tight ends who can block at the line of scrimmage at the point of attack, and they can also get downfield and catch the football.
Breaks through the contact, and he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Indianapolis. T.Y. Hilton, an 18-yard touchdown run, and the Colts have got it on cruise control.
Well, we've talked about it before. You know, this jet sweep, something a lot of teams like to run nowadays, and this one winds up in the end zone.
And it is all about creating different ways to get the ball in the hands of your playmakers. And wasn't it interesting at part of this game? The head coach told us, I saw this sitting in my chair watching a Tuesday night college game and decided to implement it myself.
They'll try to run it with Mack. And they are just not going to let up as he is into the end zone here for 2 more.
Personally, I'd rather see him kick the extra point there than to go for 2, but it almost feels like there's a story within the story here. I mean, this isn't college. You know, size of victory, that matters in those games. Here, all you have to do is win by 1 point. That's all that you need. Instead, they go for it, get 2. You got some pretty ticked off folks on the other sideline now.
Fielded just outside the goal line. And they'll be backed up to start this drive as he's taken down right around the 15.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
They start the drive with White. And that closed up quickly there as he gets it up only to about the 17.
Darius Leonard, the all-pro, in on the tackle.
Well, sometimes you just have to give credit to the defense. Great job there at the point of attack, holding up. They won their battles at the line of scrimmage, left him no space to try and run. A really nice job swarming to the ball carrier.
Well, I'm not sure he saw the linebacker there as that's batted down and incomplete. And the passing windows are just not there. That's just another example of how great this defense has been all game long.
And that's exactly what a top 10 defense can do. They can really change the game tempo and frustrate you as you try to execute offensively.
From the gun on 3rd down, Newton. And that will be incomplete.
Well, this is just a continuation of what we saw in the first half. So much for the fresh start to begin the 3rd quarter. Still off-target throws, no rhythm throwing the football, and obviously no touchdown scored in this game.
And the punter Bailey on now as he sends this one away. On the return, it's Rodgers.
And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. Excellent work on the run back there, 33 yards. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. They'll try and start this drive in the air. Caught left side by Hilton. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down. Second and 1. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
Those throwing windows get a lot tighter near the end zone, don't they? And here's the thing. You already probably have 3 points in your hip pocket. You force a throw here and give up an interception, you come away with nothing.
Especially tough in the middle 3rd of the field where he threw that one.
And he is going to have a Colts first down by a couple of yards as they're able to convert there on 3rd and 1.
That's a tremendous group effort there because when you talk about offensive lines, the best ones, talk about guys that play in harmony, in sync, and getting things done, and they did that on that play.
Yeah, especially on 3rd and 1. Got to be in sync, and they were. Now on 1st down, he'll drop to throw it.
Out to the right and complete to Pittman.
And he's brought down.
Well, this is a defense that's definitely on their heels now because they gave up the running play for good yardage 1 play ago. Now the pass here sets this offense up 1st and goal. They're going to have to dig in strong now because they've been in retreat so far in this drive. This offense on the march.
Mack is into the end zone. Touchdown, Indianapolis. CD, there didn't seem to be much resistance there down near the goal line.
Yeah, partner, from what I saw there, not a real good job of matching up defensively because to me, they looked like they were just in their base 3-4 package. You need bigger bodies in there in a goal line type situation. The 3-4 fine between the 20s, but not down here when you're guarding your end zone.
Frank Reich going to tell the offense to go for 2. They'll try to run it with Mack. And he is into the end zone again as he scores both the touchdown and the two-point conversion to extend this lead.
I guess when you're hot, you're hot. I mean, I would just go ahead and take the extra point and move on, but apparently they've got something to prove. Almost feels like something was said this week, and they wanted to make sure that they laid it on them in this game.
So after the touchdown, here's Blankenship kicking off. This will be fielded inside the 5. And all deep in his own territory, he coughs up the football. And the Colts pick it up. And down inside the red zone at the 19-yard line.
Oftentimes when we talk about piling on in any subject, it's a negative. In this case, for this team, it's a real positive. Just scored. Now they go down.
And now before the ball changes hands, I'm going to take a look at this just to make sure that they have it right. Now the question, was the knee in fact down before this ball comes loose? And is the video convincing enough to overturn it?
A lot of factors here. Remember, you also need clear possession of football afterwards. This is a tough one to overturn. We're going to shut you down.
After you play, rule on field is reversed.
So that one overturned. They say the knee was down, and that will not be ruled a fumble. The Pats at the line, ready to go. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point. They had the incomplete pass on second down. Now they need a big play here, 3rd and 10. Newton. But he'll let this go deep for Bourne. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on 3rd down. Some boos coming down right now from this home crowd after that call.
Yeah, and that was because of the pass interference call, but for a second there, I thought maybe they'd gotten a look at my appearance as Othello in the high school play.
You were Othello?
Not a good one, let me tell you.
He's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down.
Nice rhythm throw there on 1st down. He located his tight end, made a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. On 2nd down, Michelle. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37.
Yeah, they really needed to get something going, didn't they? They had punted on the last 2 possessions. The running game starting to come to the front for them, providing a nice pickup there to keep this drive going.
And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. A nice little gain. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
We're off to the 4th quarter here in Week 15. Happy holidays to all. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now here on EA Sports.
And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the fourth quarter. A very one-sided affair. From the 27, Newton. And his throw here is incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
New England on third down. They're hitting at just 30%, 3 for 10. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. Letting one go deep for the end zone. Toward the back corner of the end zone, but he could not get the feet down. This will wind up incomplete. And Parkey's kick is good. And they'll get back 3, but this remains a large deficit. Well, he was a spectator for much of this game. This is his first field goal opportunity of the entire contest, but he's able to connect.
Yeah, he had a pretty good seat to this one, didn't he? But let's face it, all kickers that you and I know, they want to contribute. They want their opportunity, and he seized his.
Bringing it out of his end zone, Isaiah Rodgers. A dangerous return man showing it here. And he takes it all the way across the 40 before going out of bounds.
Any return that gets you to midfield is a great return. 1 first down, you're almost in field goal position.
Well, the Colts now, they're ready to get the football back. And, Charles, we are in the midst of a very one-sided affair. I think this is where you and I have to fill a little bit. You want to regale us with old stories of your childhood in New Paltz, New York?
I don't think anyone wants to hear that, but this is a perfect time for us to start listing MVP candidates, right? The best teams we've seen so far this year, the best games that we've called thus far, how we anticipate the season unfolding. We can go in so many different directions because the game certainly not taking us there.
And he's going to be sacked. They sack him back right at the midfield stripe. Well, this offense, Charles, we've talked about how well they played all season, sitting now at 13-0 and a finish line for a perfect regular season. That's in sight. Some in the media this week were pointing back to the 07 Patriots. Of course, remember, they finished the regular season unbeaten, but they were tested multiple times in that final month plus.
Yeah, but something like 4 of the last 6 wins were one-possession games, and they played like a team that was trying to protect something instead of chasing something. And that's what happens when you have an undefeated record. So it behooves you as a team, get a couple blowouts in there so you get a chance to relax and breathe. But that's much easier said than done. Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from...
And shutting him off, now open field. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Marlon Mack, 36 yards. And the Colts add on to their lead, and it's looking like that win streak is going to extend another week. Just a terrific run there, Charles, from a running back who is so compact and powerful, and that strength was on display there.
And as a former defender, I can tell you with certainty, those are the ones that have you losing sleep at night. I would not like to be in that film room on Tuesday going over that one. Just a pretty poor effort defensively, and it leads to a big play.
And you can see the distance traveled there after the initial contact on the next-gen stats. Blankenship out for the point after. Oh, and now they're going to fake it. And he'll be out of bounds well short of the goal line, so the attempt at the fake extra point unsuccessful.
I know we could sit up here and dance around it a little bit, but going for 2 in this situation, somebody don't like someone else. There's no doubt in my mind.
Well, what they couldn't see is you lean back in your chair and you went, and all deep in his own territory, he coughs up the football, and the Colts pick it up, and he'll take this down inside the 15-yard line.
There's never a good place on the field to fumble the ball. Let's just call it as it is.
But definitely not in your own red zone.
In your own red zone, it's heightened, isn't it? Because you're almost automatically giving up a score and the momentum, and everything just changes for your team.
Yeah, so the kickoff fumble, now great field position.
And now, as with every potential turnover, they're going to take a second look at this just to make sure. And the question, was the knee in fact down before this ball comes loose? And is the video convincing enough to overturn it?
A lot of factors here. Remember, you also need clear possession of the football afterwards. This is a tough one to overturn.
So that challenge, a successful one. The Pats at the line, ready to go. Remember, they have won 3 straight, but getting to 4 straight does not appear to be in the cards as they are in a big fourth-quarter hole. The Colts are going to get him. Down he goes. It'll be a loss of 7 on the sack, and it brings up second. Defensively, you said coming in earlier in the broadcast, the magic number was 20 points for you. That's what you thought they would have to hold this offense to, or less than that. And, wow, they've done that in a big way, haven't they?
Not only have they done it, they put themselves in a great position to win this one because holding them down was paramount. If they could get it done, well, guess what? We see the end result. Right now, they have their eye on victory.
And leading here in the... And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Kenny Moore. And they are going to set up shop at the 32-yard line. Charles, are you kidding me? 4 interceptions? I mean, that's a good season for a lot of defensive backs.
A lot of reason to get voted into the Pro Bowl. When you have 4 in one game, I mean, talk about a campaign slogan, right? I got 4. Send me to the Pro Bowl, guys. What a game we've experienced watching this one.
Now the Colts offense gets ready to head back on the field. And after the interception, they are sitting in an even better spot with the ball and a comfortable fourth-quarter lead. Escaping a tackler at the 25. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on second down. 8 yards the tally on that first down run. Here's 2nd and 2. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. Sliding out of the pocket. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line.
Well, to me, this leads to the question, do you admire the way he puts his body out there all the time, or do you think he should protect himself a little bit more?
Well, he's been on the ground several times with all those sacks that he's taken. So, I don't know, I kind of admire him not sliding down there, don't you?
I'm with you on that one. The meter definitely leans towards admiration.
155 yards rushing now for the NFL leader coming into this ballgame. And carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
Looking to run with Mack. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is a force of nature at the defensive tackle position. Yes, he's as big as they come, but still plenty agile. He's able to make a nice play there to swallow up the ball carrier.
And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down. They'll run it with Mack, and he'll go backwards, losing yardage to the 5. Well, they're going to try this thing. They're at the 5, 4th and goal. They're going to go for it. We'll see. Run, probably pass to both. And he takes this one in for a Colts touchdown. Marlon Mack, a 5-yard touchdown run. And the Colts are closing in on a 14-0 record as they extend their lead. Even though they've got this big advantage, Charles, they are not taking their foot off the gas pedal right now.
Well, I think what we're seeing is the result of all their great preparation and great practice time during the week. And even though it seems like this is a great chance to pull people back and maybe, not try and score a few more times, they don't want to do that. I think they're enjoying what they're seeing, the collective effort, and they want to play it all the way out.
The quarterback will keep it himself. And he is going to lose yardage here.
The third time wasn't a charm. They got the first two-point tries. Still have the lead, but couldn't get the third.
Okay, so they didn't get this one, but I have to ask you, what matchup are they seeing that they feel that confident to go for two so often?
Yeah, and we talk about this a lot, but it has to be something, you're right, that they saw all week, correct?
Definitely game plan for it. Felt good about being aggressive and going for it. And right up until that one, they'd gotten 2 for 2.
The Pats at the line, ready to go. They were coming off the extra week of rest, but this team started sluggish, and it really didn't get any better from there. And trailing big here in this fourth quarter. They'll be dropped at the 25 after a gain of 6.
Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
Now he's going to swing this one out to his running back. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. It'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play. And that's going to lead to a third down. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Patriots with the football as we get you reset. They face a third down now as they try to find a late score. Here's Newton. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. The Patriots send out their punter as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. Take it at the 37. It'll be 37 yards there on the punt. And that will come the offense as they take over. And the Colts coming out now. And they just continue to roll right along, really. This has the looks of yet another victory as they hope to polish it off here in quarter number 4. Now it looks like he'll throw here. Looking deep for Hilton. This is caught inside the 15. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly.
Well, business as usual for them. Well on their way to another victory. Riding a serious wave of momentum from what we've seen. And so far, they haven't met their match. So if you're going to play this team in the future, your mission is clear. You better be ready to play and match their firepower.
Here we go now as they will again try for 2. They'll look to throw. And he's going to go down. Can't get rid of it. So a sack on the 2-point try. Tried to roll out, make a play outside of the pocket, but couldn't get it done.
When you don't have a lot of space for your receivers to operate, and down there it's really condensed when you're snapping the ball from the 2-yard line, rolling out, you extend the play, but you don't necessarily open up better avenues for people. And on that play, there's just nowhere to go with the ball, and they end up getting sacked.
New England's offense set to go. Let's just be frank. They're playing for pride at this point.
That's all that's left, because victory, not a chance now. And I can't wait to see how they actually go about doing it, because there are a lot of people watching the body language of the guys on the field now, and if they call plays...
And now here's another interception. Picked up by Kenny Moore. And he'll get this back to the 32-yard line. Yet another mistake after the interception there. And gosh, you look up at the scoreboard, they just got to be thinking this one cannot get over fast enough.
It certainly can't. And also what happens when you get this big of a deficit, you're supposed to make all the right throws, right? You're supposed to try and obviously get the ball to your own guys. But being down this big, you also take even more chances. And in this situation, that hasn't paid off for them at all.
On the other sideline, jubilation and laughter. They'll look to throw now on first down. Looking deep for Hilton. And give him another 6. It's caught for a touchdown, and the blowout continues. And for them, this train, it just keeps rolling, doesn't it? Well on their way to yet another victory.
Yeah, it's almost a runaway, isn't it? And you just wonder how anyone could stop this. They got full momentum going, full confidence going. But it's not just their own confidence that's leading them. It's the lack of confidence against their opponents now, because they see them coming and think, we've got no shot to beat this team.
Extra point by Blankenship is up and good.
And that will extend this big lead. Those are the kind of drives they like on offense, from the coordinator to the quarterback, the line, everybody. One play drive and into the end zone for 6.
So after the touchdown, here's Blankenship kicking off. This will be fielded inside the 5. And he will make it to the 20-yard line and no further.
The Patriot offense now set to come back out onto the field. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that, and coaches want.
And he'll be brought down by the Colts. DeForest Buckner in there to get him, and that is now sack number 18 on the season for him.
That right now, that's a defeated team out there. I think you can see it totally in their body language.
Hands on hips, heads low. It's just been a struggle from the start.
Yeah, this team has been thoroughly beaten right from the word go.
To try again after the sack, Newton. And that'll be incomplete. Well, he took a shot as he let that go. And it's going to bring up a 3rd down.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Newton to throw. Open man is Kendrick Bourne. And he'll be taken down, but they've got this one up to the 35-yard line. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now, because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum going.
And that one will drop incomplete. 4 seconds remaining now in this half. Likely time for just one final play. An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. One last throw here for Newton. And they get to Newton and take him down for the sack. A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory. And the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week. We'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points. Allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for the Colts, they move ever closer to the perfect regular season as they run things to 14-0. And they'll hit the road next week to take on the Arizona Cardinals. Meanwhile, for New England, they'll drop to 9-5 on the year. And they will get a home date next week as they will take on